and welcome to day 1 of our January challenge 2026. We have a beautiful new piece for you today. It's been written especially for this by Karen Marshalsea. We have done a few of hers over the past years and they are always gorgeous. This one is especially poignant as it's called The Grey Heron Stands. And it's been named for Lynn Welby, who is a past convener of Harps Northwest, a past chairperson, who also was very, very important to many of us in her undying, unwavering support. She passed in 2025 and she is deeply missed. So this is a beautiful piece in her honour. I will begin today by playing it for you all the way through, and then we will have a look at the first 8 bars. You will notice this year that we don't have the music written at the bottom of the screen, but you will be able to print it off as ever, or maybe access it on a second device. Okay, let's go. Isn't it beautiful? What I love about it is how, there's many things, but one of the things I love is how it uses dynamics and it gives it you all on the page, and it just really brings the piece to life, much like a heron standing out in nature. It wouldn't be just one volume. There's so much give and take with it. And you'll see as you work through the piece how much is written in to work with. So we will be focusing on that all the way through, because it's great to do those as you learn the piece, not try and add them in later. We're going to begin at the beginning now then, starting with, well, we're in 3 flats, which for many of you will mean no levers that you have to engage at all. And then we are doing a C chord, so it's sort of a C minor feel to this. So we have a C triad in both hands. You have an option with the left hand because later it's going to play a B, and that B is kind of on its own. It's in between, it's interspersed between some notes. So personally, I like the idea of having a triad on and doing 3, 2, 1, and then moving and getting my finger 2 on the B for when it comes in, and that's a really nice note, really nice sounding note that we can produce with our finger 2. The alternative is you could from the beginning have 4 fingers on, C, E, G and the B flat, and then you would play 4, 3, 2, and you'd wait quite a long time, and then you could do the 1. Now it's totally possible, and it does give you that security, especially at the beginning of the piece, but you do need to then make sure that you play that thumb so beautifully in order to produce that gorgeous sound of it. So that's the sort of compromise you make if you do the 4 fingers to have the security, extra thought into making it beautiful. If you do just the 3 fingers, then the extra thought is in finding the note. So see which works for you, especially with what else is going on. We do this arpeggio roll up, so the left hand 3, 2, 1, and then 3, 2, 1. So straight away 3 beats in the bar, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and going up. The top hand then has 3 descending notes. Now in some music I really like to do a thumb slide when it moves in that way, so that we can end up on 1, 2 and 3. It doesn't feel fitting for this piece to me, so I like to do and get these other 3 fingers, 3 in a row from the F down to the D, just to get those anchored on. So I play the 3, I play the 2, and then I'm going to anchor those on as I play the thumb. And that gives me my nice strong finger 2 on that F note, which has a little accent on it. So, okay. Now that is not a tricky thing to do and not a lot to think about if you do the placing all as one block. If you do the 2 and then you've got to find your 3 and find your 4, anything could happen. So try and practice that 3, 2, place, 3, 2, place, 3, 2, place. You can do that. And then 3, 2, 1, getting that 1 as those have anchored on. Okay, and yes, being mindful of backs of fingers not hitting the red. This will be all the easier if you have lovely low facing fingers, because they can just fall down. They don't need to curve to go on. They can just fall open, and there they are. Okay, so putting those couple of parts together, we have the run up with the left, and then the left's going to get ready on a B. And we go left, 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 right, right, placing. We're going to play the F, and the B is going to come between the F and the E. So the F, E, D is 1 per beat, but this B flat in our left is going to come in between. So we'll have the F, left, right, right. So if I count you in, we'll just do those 2 bars. Okay, so triad in both hands. Here's our count. Do it nice and steady for now. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, place, left, right and right. That's it, and allow that time for that final note there. The left hand then goes straight back to another triad, as does the right. And then it comes to just an F this time. So it's similar to the beginning where we're needing to get something else on, but this time it's just the F, not the F, E, D. With that F, we're going to do a left hand harmonic. Okay, left hand harmonic, couple of different ways of holding your hand for it, but ultimately your thumb is going to be plucking above the part of your hand that is going to touch the string. So either just below your thumb on this fleshy part here, or the part I really like doing, which is the side of my hand here. But it's a nice soft part, and that part wants to push at the halfway point of the string. That's halfway from where it's touching the pin here and going through the soundboard. It's often lower than you think for the left hand. So it touches that at about the halfway point, and we pluck above it. Now, hopefully, during this course of videos, I'm going to always hit those beautifully. And the reason I'm going to always hit those beautifully is because I've marked it on with a pencil. It doesn't last forever, pencil markings. It quite nicely rubs off, which is great. But I have used my pencil to mark where my thumb would need to go. It's no use having it down there where my hand is going to touch, because then I'm looking in the place that's not helpful. If I know where my thumb is going to go, I'm going to be able to hit that note. Okay, so that's quite handy, and I literally just do it by marking onto the string like this, where I know my thumb needs to go. Okay, so putting that together, we had the triad in both hands going into the 2, 3, 4, and then triad in both hands, which just goes to a finger 2 on the F, and at the same time as that, our left hand is getting ready on a harmonic. So let's try those 4 bars now. Triad in both hands. Okay, notice that we are piano. We don't want to be too soft. Very much sort of the softer version of your middle, because later on we've got double P and triple P to get to as well. But yeah, the softer edge of your middle, and then we're going to be bringing it up a bit. So here we go. Here's our count. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Back to the triad, getting ready for the harmonic. Okay, so there's decisions to make in this piece about when you place and what you're placing when. So that left hand had this. Okay, I've also just put a new string on, so I'm going to keep an eye on my tuning for that one. So, and then I play this other note. This is still vibrating, so I don't want to put my hand on it too soon and stop that lovely bass chord that's ringing through underneath. But I do want to be able to be on it without too much stress for what's coming up. Okay, let's try it again. Triad in both hands. Here's our count. Okay, starting quiet and then just lifting it up a touch on our second lot of triads. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Bit louder now. Okay, if need be, take time to pause the video, mark on with pencil where your thumb would go. So work out, find your harmonic, notice where your thumb is, maybe put a finger on it with the other hand and then draw it on. Okay, like I say, I've just used pencil, which rather quickly will rub off again, but gives me that security for today. Okay, moving on. More triads. In fact, the next 2 bars are very much like the first 2 bars. We've got an F note in the top hand that's carried on, it's been tied on. So what we're actually hearing now is that ringing on and crescendo through those 3 notes, but just like we did at the beginning. Then we have a little run of 4 notes. So we've just played the D with a finger 4. I would try and get my thumb on the E. It's, on my part, it's moved on to the next line there, but try and get my thumb on the E, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. The timing is, I'm going to use some Kodaly terms with you. I'm going to use T for those quavers or 8th notes, and ta for crotchets. So it goes T, T, ta, ta. Okay, T, T, ta, ta. And then I'm coming back to middle C And I'd like to get my finger 2 on there because that's a beautiful, beautiful sounding note when we use finger 2. So I placed onto that, just before I played my finger 4 on the B, I got my 2 onto the red. Left it as late as possible whilst maintaining the beat. Okay, underneath that we had the triad up to the B, then we just step down one to the A, but there's so much time that personally I'm just very happy just moving my hand down a note with that lovely finger 2, so I can do a really beautiful pluck, moving it down one more note. And we've brought the volume down again by the end there. So a little, quite subtle phrasing, but that really adds to the music. So let's try those last 4 bars now, starting at bar 5 where it's marked piano again. We've got the F tied on over the top, so we can be having our left and right hand ready on triads. Starting at bar 5. Okay, here's our counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Getting louder. 4 in a row. Dying down. 2, 3. Okay, and for now we'll damp, but the piece carries on. Okay, so that's your opening 8 bars for this piece. I can't wait to share more of it with you, but join me on the play along video where we'll do some different speeds for you to join in your playing with. And I really can't stress enough, think about this dynamics as you learn it, so that that's how you always play it. Okay, I'll see you then. Well done.